look at sort of what we are capable of doing as an industry, right, with our clients and for our clients, I think we're in the golden era of creativity. So when trust in government's declining, what people are expecting more and more from corporations, not just to move their business forward, but to move their business forward that's aligned with sort of societal and cultural values, right? So I look at this next chapter as making sure that we deliver creative solutions. So we will do work that creates preference for our clients. That's bread and butter. We will do the kind of work that creates passion for their brands and their businesses, because loyalty is really important as opposed to just acquiring new customers. We have a desire and a vision and a hope to be able to work with our clients to also impact policy. So we're making sure that their businesses are doing well, create passion so we can create long-term impact from a business perspective, but also work with them to impact policy, because we can do that today. I think all companies and brands today are thinking about what is the impact that they can leave on their consumers' lives, because that's what they do at the end of the day, right? Every business that's going to market something to a human being at the end is trying to improve somebody's life. I think every brand and company should be looking at what is the credible thing they can do. Not should they have an agenda, but what gives them the right to have a certain agenda that ties in with their business, right? Because otherwise it becomes purpose washing and it's just about marketing. This is not a marketing play. This is a true impact play. Look, they backfire for multiple reasons. One is when I called it purpose washing. If you're doing it just to be gratuitous, and you have absolutely no right, and your business doesn't actually do what you're promoting in marketing, then it backfires, right? Two, and we'll call it backfiring, but whenever you dip your toe in something that's controversial, you dip your toe in something that's touching sort of the cultural conversation, you're going to get good responses and bad responses, because we live in a social world and people can respond, right? I don't think that should be something we fear, because if it only becomes we'll do it because we want 100% positive sentiment, that doesn't happen. Bravery also takes bravery of response, and I always say this to clients, and I say to our teams also, if we want to go to Mars, it's never been done before and there's going to be hiccups. So friction is not a bad thing. Friction creates flame, it ignites new possibilities, it creates new realities, and that's how fire was created. So friction is a fundamental of life, by the way. Tell me, everybody talks about friction sometimes being bad, or tension is. I don't know a human being, and if there is one, God bless you, I would love to actually come learn something. We have friction in our personal lives. You don't feel joy if you don't understand sorrow. You just don't. And that is an element of sort of, friction. It's like, how can I live with joy and sorrow together? So these are all powerful igniters. Friction in storytelling, tension in storytelling, which is what we do. They're powerful igniters of new stories. There are so many sort of polarities, and again, polarities I mean in two sort of different opposing things that you don't think about. And my observation has been the incredible warmth in this culture. But then there's also such a brutal resilience to get it done. And I use the word brutal in very intentionally. It's like if something has to be done and you say at 4 o'clock and if it's done at 6 o'clock, it is done. So there's sort of this, which you go, does that fight like the, oh, come on, let's all dance and hug and kiss? And it's like, when it's time to do something, I've never seen a group of people who just rally and make it happen with an intensity. Right, so when you think about that, to me that creates such an interesting cultural hotbed of stories to be told. I feel like weird kinship to Mexico because I keep seeing so many parallels to India. They were really surprised, by the way, talking about parallels to India. I can eat more tacos than most Mexicans, and I can eat them with hotter habanero and all kinds of hot salsas. And everybody was making fun of me here to say, like, are you sure you're going to eat that? And I'm like, bring it on, baby. This is what I'd say about Latin America. Can brands be more successful here? I would say yes, and I'll tell you why I say yes. It's not because there's something specific. These global issues are these global issues, but culturally, Latin America is different. The people are different, and we're going back to this notion of sort of storytelling and creativity being so central to the culture. I think this is an incredible moment for brands to connect with people, despite all the headwinds that we see or the macroeconomic situation that we see. Everybody can work with Ogilvy, and we would want any client in any category and every client to work with us. The second thing is I'd say to every CMO, and I say it to all of us as a collective industry, there are two fundamentals in our business. And one of those fundamentals is there's a business and a brand. And the other fundamental is there are human beings on the other end. Now, what we have done since the history of sort of forming that connection, or call it the history of advertising communication, is connect those two in a meaningful manner. The means of connection keep changing, and the means will keep changing because technology today is, sort of works at the speed of light, and we have new forms and new means. And my biggest advice to everybody is to say, let's not get fixated on the means of connecting. Because what we do very often is we actually forget the fundamentals. And we forget that the other end of a metaverse or the other end of a tech platform is a human being. And our entire job is to make sure that that connection between a brand and a business and the end consumer is as powerful, as potent, and as meaningful as it can be. Data isn't the objective. Data is a means for us to get an insight into human beings so that we can have deeper connections. Technology isn't the objective. It is a means so that we can connect with people where they are, how they are, in a forum that they want to be. But I think we tend to forget that, and we become so enamored by all like the new shiny object that we totally forget who's on the other end.